North Bali Airport again, and rice prices increase. Not a good sign. Stay tuned for details. Welcome to the latest news from Bali and Indonesia. This is September 20th, 2023, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? It is pretty lovely. It is 28.9 degrees Celsius, 64% humidity, wind speed 7.4 kilometers per hour, and it is sunny, and the ocean is beautiful today. Just lovely. And I hope wherever you are, in Bali or elsewhere, the weather is lovely as well. Okay, let's get into it. The North Bali Airport. No, this is not the North Bali International Airport. This is something else. Lieutenant Colonel Wisnu Airport prepared to become a commercial airport target for extending runway. The hope is that the airport can accept passengers using small-body aircraft, so that it has an economic impact on the local community. And this airport is a little tiny airport over on the west side and northwest side of the island. So far, Lieutenant Colonel Wisnu's airport has only been used as a training location for student pilots from the Bali International Flight Academy, BIFA. However, according to this article, the author knows that the airport is devoid of activity because BIFA has moved its training to Banyuwangi over in Jawa. The idea of making the airport into a commercial airport emerged when the Buleleng DPRD discussed a draft revision of the Buleleng Regional Spatial Planning, RTRW, for 2023 to 2043. In the draft, the government includes the option of a new North Bali airport located somewhere, maybe in Kerobokan, maybe over here, who knows. But apart from that option, which is unlikely at this point, the council proposes that the government also optimize the use of the Lieutenant Colonel Wisnu Airport. And it's called here in this article LAPTER, which stands for Lapangan Terbang, because so far the use of the airport has not been optimal. It's just had a status of a special airport. It's just for practice. But there's potential for it to be developed into a commercial airport as long as it meets technical and statutory standards, according to the chairman of the RTRW Special Committee, Putumangku Budiasa. According to him, the opportunity is wide open, considering that the land is still very large. The ministry could also allow the airport to be the landing location for small-body aircraft, as long as the length of the runway is increased. Separately, the acting regent of Buleleng revealed that the development of this airport was very open. So far, according to him, the Bali provincial government has talked about extending the runway so that it can be used for small-bodied aircraft that could hold as many as 30 to 50 passengers. Where would people come from that would be using it? I don't know, maybe Jawa, maybe the South. People that don't want to take a car, want to take a plane. Who knows? According to him, the government's ready to invest in the land, considering that the Buleleng Regency government has assets there. He also claimed that the government was ready to accept a swap option with land owned by the province. He said, please let the province take care of it. Later, the community's economy will be able to prosper. So, the idea of an airport in North Bali is not going to die. It is here. It's like Phoenix rising from the ashes. It's always around. And this time, well, I don't know. Is there a reason to have an airport where you can bring in a passenger plane with 30 to 50 people? Yeah, maybe. I guess if you came from Surabaya, you could fly in that way. So, we'll just have to wait and see how this pans out. But there are people that really want to have an airport up here. Okay, let's talk about rice because, well, the sawa is disappearing in Bali as more and more villas and hotels and these huge projects like that place in Tabanan, the Russian eco resort or whatever it is, and the hidden city, whatever that's called, in Ubud. There's just development continuing to grow, and as the development grows, the ability to raise crops decreases. Rice prices rise uncontrollably. Dry grain is also bought outside Bali. Residents must reduce rice consumption. Because the price of rice is getting more expensive, people are going to have to tighten their belt. This includes reducing unnecessary expenses. According to one person interviewed for this article, he said he's going to have to be willing to reduce his rice consumption. He said, well, what else? Usually 50,000 rupees can get you up to 5 kilos of rice. Now you only get 3.5 kilos. So yeah, just whatever. Whether you like it or not, you have to keep buying. Yeah, because you have to eat. Villas are not going to feed you. Rice prices are not under control. Extreme weather is accused of being the scapegoat. As a result, poor people become victims. They have to reduce their rice consumption in order to survive. One person interviewed for the article was seen sitting in a cross-legged chair in the courtyard of Bhakti Saraga Perbekal office. He admitted that he'd been waiting since 11 a.m. He's waiting for his turn to collect food aid rice from the central government. He's one of the recipients of rice aid in the village. He said, yes, it's good to get 10 kilos of rice. It's very difficult to buy cheap rice. He said the price of rice has soared. Now it's up to 14,000 a kilogram, where previously it was at the most 12,000 per kilogram. He's tried to find rice that's relatively cheaper, namely rice stabilizing food supply and prices. Well, that's a translation, stabilizasi pasokan dan harga pangan. However, finding this rice is quite difficult, he said. I've searched shops and stalls around the village, but I couldn't find it. I haven't tried it on the market yet, however, he said. The price increase was acknowledged by the head of Buleng Food Security and Fisheries Services, DKPP, Igode Putra Ariana. According to him, price fluctuations occurred because grain in Buleng was bought out of Bali. On paper, Buleng is actually self-sufficient, but it's experienced problems in the distribution chain. The solution is that the government is now distributing government rice reserves. A total of 48,844 poor families will receive 10 kilograms of rice per month, and this will go on until November. Aside from that, the government has also asked Bulog to distribute the SPHP, the cheap rice. For that rice, the highest retail price is 54,500 for a bag of 5 kilograms. The distributor makes a profit of 900 per kilogram. He said, we hope this will reduce prices. So when you think about this, the distributor is only going to make 900 rupiah. Wow. Talk about living on the edge. And as this push goes to bring in more and more foreigners, remember last time I was talking about 25 million? How are we feeding all these people? Fortunately, I'm not in the government. Okay, so that is not good news. And I think I mentioned before, mention again, because this is an ongoing thing now, because the price of vegetables and fruits is going up as well. My wife has taken off on the garden, so we have a garden on this level. This is the 3rd floor. We've got some space around the side of the house, and she's growing things there. And up on the roof, we have a flat roof, and she has all sorts of different projects going on there. So she has some traditional plants that you can use for medicine, and there's grapefruit and oranges, and she's growing broccoli and asparagus and beans and chili peppers and, I don't know what all, but she is up there every day going at it because she said, we're going to save money one way or the other. And so my wife has become a farmer, and I kind of like it. Okay, let's talk about foreigners, because what else? There's always news about foreigners. Preventing naughty foreigners, Bali immigration intensifies APOA socialization. The Nurai Immigration Office in Bali is intensifying the socialization of the Alien Reporting Application, that's APOA, to increase supervision of citizens. Which citizens? Us. Head of Nurai Immigration Office, Sujido, said that APOA is an application that can be used by tourism accommodations. the community and related agencies to report the presence and activity of foreigners, yes, you, in Indonesia. He said, thanks to reporting in APOA, we can quickly deal with foreigners who commit violations. According to him, cooperation with a number of parties, including tourism circles, is very important to increase the supervision of foreigners. He said there's around 18,000 foreigners coming to Bali every day. Bali Immigration noted that by the end of August 2023, as many as 213 foreigners had been deported from Bali. This is compared to 2022 when 188 people were deported. So we're way ahead and we've still got another 4 months to go. Naughty foreigners who are subject to sanctions include abusing residence permits, bypassing residence permits, and criminal acts that violate the legal norms and rules in force in Indonesia. The APOA application can be downloaded via the Play Store service with keyword foreigner reporting. But the public can also go to apoa.immigration.go.id if there are problems accessing the app. Based on data from the Bali Regional Office of the Ministry of Law and Human Rights, at the end of August 2023, the 213 foreigners that were deported come from 45 countries, the highest being Russia, 59. Of the remainder, the U.S. had 14, England 13, Australia 12, Nigeria 9. So, more ways to keep track on us. And I don't know, how long ago was it when I talked about that this was not going to be good for all of us here, with people continuing to misbehave in Bali. And the government is continuing to look for ways to control the situation, which they see rogue foreigners here. Now, considering how many people are actually coming in here, we had 18,000 a day coming in, plus all of us that live here on a full-time basis or part-time basis. Not that many, but it hits the news, especially when they do some really outrageous things, and then it gets everybody riled up. And if people get riled up, local people, Indonesian citizens, and it goes viral, well, the government is going to respond. And so you might remember in the last video, I was talking about the foreigner and the Indonesian lady who were doing the horizontal tango in the front yard of somebody. Well, here's a follow-up. Viral, foreigner having intimate relationship in front of Kuta resident's house, arrested, woman runs away. A foreign national from Italy with the initials LS, 36 years old, went viral on social media after having sex with a woman in front of a resident's house. The incident happened on Jalan Kayu Aya in Seminyak, Kuta, and Badung last Saturday at 12:45 in the morning. After being caught by people at home and checking CCTV, it was true that the foreigner was acting indecently in front of the resident's house. This was, of course, reported to the police, and the Kuta police chief, together with the criminal investigation unit team, immediately carried out an investigation and identified that the perpetrator was an Italian foreigner with the initials LS, and he was 36 years old. He is 36 years old. He was arrested on Thursday, the 14th, and is currently undergoing examination at the Kuta police station, and that was last week. Meanwhile, the woman involved in the video is still being chased by the Kuta police team. And according to Ellis's confession, he went to the nightclub in Kuta and was drinking alcohol. He met a woman there. The two of them agreed to look for a hotel. They left the nightclub. However, when they arrived at the crime scene, well, they just couldn't help themselves, and they didn't know that there was a CCTV camera there, and so they did it right there. So apparently, the Italian does not know who the Indonesian lady is that he was having an intimate relationship with in somebody's front yard, or he's just not telling. But the police are still looking for her, and so this is a story that is everywhere still, and even though he was arrested last week, the report of this just came out the other day, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday when I picked this up. Okay, and so that is one of the things that gets the government going to push for more and more ways to keep an eye on us. And here's another case, and this is another one where foreigner decided to get aggressive and physical, and with a policeman this time. Viral, foreigners who violate traffic push the police when they are ticketed. This is the punishment, said the head of public relations of the Bali Police. So foreign tourists have acted up again, this time by pushing the police when they were ticketed for violating traffic rules. The incident occurred at the red light in front of the traffic police post on Jalan Sunset Road in Kuta on Monday, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The incident was immortalized by residents' cameras and then went viral on social media. Even though the male foreigner was wearing a helmet, his female friend who was riding the back was not wearing a helmet. Head of public relations of the Bali Regional Police said that the incident started when the police found a foreigner riding a motorbike stopping at a red light in front of the Kuta traffic police post on Sunset Road. At that time, personnel on duty to control the traffic, 2 officers, approached the foreigner who was violating the incident. The lady in the back didn't have her helmet on and was directed to pull over in front of the police post. Next, one of the policemen asked and checked the vehicle's complete documents, but it turned out that the foreigner did not have complete documents. He didn't have a driver's license and an STNK registration for the vehicle. Police Commissioner Jansen said it's possible that he did not accept being questioned because he felt that he had not violated the rules. Suddenly, the foreigner became angry and pushed the officer. Then the other officer immediately intervened and gave an explanation to the foreigner. The officer explained that when riding a motorbike, it's mandatory to obey traffic rules that apply in Indonesia, such as using a helmet for personal safety and carrying an STNK and a driving license. After given punishment in the form of a warning, that's the punishment, and an understanding of traffic rules, the foreigner was invited to continue his journey by the officers. Boy, got up pretty light for pushing a cop. As a follow-up, however, police explained that no ticket was given at the time because of heavy traffic and wanting to avoid an undesirable thing. Police, however, are now searching for the foreigner, and so this may not turn out to be quite so good for him. It just continues to amaze me why people think they can push people around here if they don't like what's going on, and especially with a cop. Hopefully, they will find this guy, and they're going to need to start to put some people into jail before they take the stuff seriously. Because right now, giving them a warning, they don't really give a damn about a warning, and deportation doesn't seem to be having much of an effect either. And here is one that is just so weird. Just when I read this, I had to go back and read it again, and it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's a crime. It's a crime, but it's a weird, kind of funny crime. Foreigners take action at Kerobokan Pharmacy and apparently steal the powerful drug Viagra. Bali Police have arrested an Australian citizen who stole medicine from a pharmacy in Kerobokan on Saturday. The well-built foreigner apparently stole the powerful drug Viagra. He's well-built, but he needs some Viagra. The North Kuta Police Head of Criminal Investigation Unit, Pak Koman Juniawan, admitted that the victim and the perpetrator had reconciled. The condition was that the traveler from Australia pay 740,000 rupees for the medicine that he stole. So some restitution, and I guess he's got off here with the pharmacy. The North Kuta Police Chief Commissioner said the police immediately looked for the foreign tourist after the video of the theft went viral on social media. Of course, when things go viral, the police take action. The police were then able to arrest the Australian citizen at a villa in the Bumbuk Bak area in North Kuta. He said, "We responded quickly to the information after it went viral." The foreigner was not wearing clothes, according to 3 different articles that I read. And usually this means that not that they were naked, but that they were probably just in shorts and not wearing a shirt. I doubt that he was in there completely naked, although you can never tell these days because foreigners seem to like to wander around the island without any clothes on. So the The man, his body was covered in tattoos. Maybe that's why he was naked. And he stole 4 pills. Oh, 4 pills. 4 pills from the pharmacy. And he was with a friend. The 2 foreign tourists initially asked the pharmacy keeper for the brand of one of the medicines, the Viagra. The 21-year-old woman gave them a box of the strong medicine to the 2 foreigners who were not wearing clothes. Okay, let's say shirtless. And they then returned the medicine box and asked to see a different medicine. After that, the 2 foreigners chatted and they left the pharmacy. However, one of them hid the Viagra strip in his trouser pocket. So he did have pants on. When the shop was quiet, the pharmacy guard realized that the medicine box that they had returned was empty. 4 pills were missing. The footage of the drug theft then went viral. Now, are they going to go back and get this guy and have him deported, or what's going to happen? He's made peace with the pharmacy by paying for the pills. In terms of any other sanctions, not clear from this article. So he needed Viagra bad enough to steal. Well, I don't know. What's he going to do? Is he going to get the Viagra and go and start bonking in somebody's front yard too? You can never tell what these crazy tourists do here these days. But, this one is good for a laugh. Because the perp was caught. He was forced to pay up. Whatever happens, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe there'll be some follow-up on this, maybe not. Okay, thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe. And I will see you next time.